When buying new shares of a company, I choose not to set up a stop loss. This may be contrary to popular advice, but it really doesn't make sense with the type of investing strategy that I pursue, so I don't do it. For those who aren't familiar with what a stop loss is, it's a type of order that you can set up with your broker to sell out of a position once it hits a certain price. The reason people use this is to limit their losses. For example, suppose someone bought into a stock at $100. Now this person could use a stop loss order with their broker to sell the stock if the price hits $90 for whatever reason. The reason for this is simply to not let the losses just keep dragging on. If you can cut your losses, then you can continue to be in the market and take up a position in another stock that you think might go up. Stop losses make a lot of sense if you're trading or speculating in the market, trying to guess which stock is going to go up, which stock is going to go down. The reason stop losses don't make sense for me and why I don't use them is simply because the strategy that I follow for my investing portfolio is focused on trying to find the intrinsic value of a business and then buying into it when it's at a price that is below the intrinsic value that I expect. Value investing, basically. So let's go back to the $100 stock example. If I was able to understand the business model of this hypothetical $100 stock, and the management seemed trustworthy and competent, and it seemed like a business that was actually worth $250 based on what the earnings of this company could be in the next 5 years, then I'd be very happy to buy this business at $100 per share. If the stock price of this particular business went down to $50 a share, down 50%, even though fundamentally nothing had really changed with the business, then I'd probably just, load up the truck and buy a lot more shares of this business because I realize that the value of this business is actually $250. A stock price going down is great for anyone who understands the true value of a business. If a stock goes from 100 to 80, then 60, and then finally 50, but nothing has really changed fundamentally with the company, then each time the stock price drops, you get to buy into the company at a lower valuation, which increases your long-term returns. Also, as the stock price falls, you need to monitor the reason for this happening. Has something fundamentally changed with the company or the business? If the future earning potential of the business has been adversely impacted, then it might not be a good idea to average down and lower your cost basis. Previously, I made another video talking about how I just took the loss that I had on American Airlines, since I don't see the airline sector as a whole making any sort of quick recovery anytime in the future. I didn't have a stop loss in place for that. The airlines are probably going to have a lot more pain moving forward, and now they even have a lot more leverage to worry about. If a business is fundamentally sound, then a lower stock price translates to a lower cost basis for you, the investor, and as you make this company a larger position of your portfolio, you benefit from a lower stock price. If you like the company when the stock was trading at $100, wouldn't you love the company when its stock price is at $50? Basically, why set up a stop loss if you know what you're buying has value and the stock price is just completely wrong? In the short term, predicting the fluctuations is almost impossible. But in the long term, the value of the business, the total market capitalization, it's in line with the earnings of the business. My favorite example of this is actually Jeff Bezos talking about Amazon and Amazon's stock price back in 1999.
Your stock at one point, I think, went to $100, but then it went down to $6 or something like that.
At the peak of the internet bubble, our stock peaked somewhere around $113. Okay. And then after the internet bubble, busted open, our stock went down to $6. It went from 113 to 6 in less than a year. So my annual shareholder that year starts with a one-word sentence, and that one-word sentence is the word ouch.
So most of those internet companies of the dot-com era are out of business.
Yeah.
You survived. What was it that made you to survive, and virtually the rest of them are gone?
That whole period is very interesting because the stock is not the company, and the company is not the stock. And so as I watched the stock fall from 113 to 6, I was also watching all of our internal business metrics, number of customers, profit per unit, everything you can imagine, defects, etc. Every single thing about the business was getting better and fast. And so as the stock price was going the wrong way, everything inside the company was going the right way.
I'm pretty sure that there aren't many people who bought into Amazon back when it was at $6 and are still holding on to it today. Investing is not easy. Holding Amazon stock has made Jeff Bezos the richest person in the world, and he still has years and years ahead to compound the money. Being a successful investor and compounding requires you to understand the business and buy into it with conviction. Using a stop loss is the exact opposite of demonstrating conviction when buying shares of a business. And that's why stop losses don't make sense to me and why I don't use them. Let me know if you've got a different perspective about using stop losses when it comes to investing. I'm not talking about trading here. Hope you like this video and thank you for watching.